Hey everybody, I'm back with a haul and a storage video. Because the haul that I have is actually on storage and something else. So let me get to it. First I ordered some pockets. Okay, I've been searching for pockets for quite a while to fit some stamps. And I have two sizes right now. Actually I have three sizes. I have this size, which is a very large. This is what most people would call an extra large pocket. It fits a stamp set like this, which has this very large stamp set in it. Let's see. This one is 6 and let's see, 6 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 5/8 by 9 1/4. Okay. So this is not why I'm here. I have these very large pockets. These are the same, but the difference is that the material is different. This is much thinner, so it's obviously of a cheaper, it's cheaper in nature. And this is more of your vinyl type pocket, so I can store heavier, I can store a lot of sets together that sort of complement each other. So I do buy two different pockets because I like to store sets together when there's stamps and dies and other things that go along with a collection. And this might be designed more for just a stamp set or a stamp and a die set. So I do have these larger ones in two different weights. That's not what I'm coming here to talk about, but I have the smaller standard size. Again, this is more of a lightweight. I do have a thicker one as well. Now, this is why I'm here. I finally found some pockets that are, and this is them. This is a whole bunch that I ordered. How many did I order? I ordered 200. This supplier is everydayplastics.com. I believe they're out of California. The shipping is not cheap because they're heavier in weight. These are vinyl plastic pockets. And the sleeve is 4.75 inches by 10.5. And they call them vinyl sleeves. And they're open on the short side, so it's a portrait sort of. Here is the item number if you're thinking about ordering. I ordered two different sets because I need to replenish my smaller set, and I'll show you that one. So I did order a large set, which is this long skinny one, and I ordered some more smaller ones, and I use these for these smaller stamp sets here. And sometimes I'll put a die in there if there's a matching die. But this is what I ordered. And this one happens to have like a little, I don't know if you can see it. It has a little strip that you tuck the flap into. You don't necessarily have to do that, but you know, it's nice. So these are your heavier duty kind. So if you have a die to store with these, you're not worried about it marking up the vinyl because this is really thick vinyl plastic. And these smaller pockets are 4.6875 by 6.125 inches. So those are a little bit different. Those are a vinyl pouch with flap. Now, because of the number I ordered, and the price goes down the more you order, the taller ones that I ordered were the 59 cents, and these small ones are 54 cents each. So depending on how many you order, if you go over a certain amount, the unit price starts to go down. So I just thought I'd let you know that, and here's the website again. So if you comment and ask me for the website, watch the video. It's in the video. I just thought I'd mention that. But the reason I've been going through this is because up until now, I've had to store these tall, skinny stamp sets like this, and sometimes they have a matching die, in these large pockets. And when I do that, there's this extra piece here. They get all munged up because they're all kind of fighting for that space, right? So I was like, okay, I've got to find a pocket that's this size. Now, plenty of you probably know that MFT sells a tall pocket. Those are always out of stock. I can never find them, and I have a problem getting them. And they don't all fit. They don't fit all of their stamps like I think they should. I think they're actually either a little bit wider than they should be or something like that. And I don't like it when, you know, when I use a stamp set and this thing rips, I kind of get annoyed. Sometimes there's a blowout on the side or something like that. But I had to go and find, I've been on the hunt for a while for something to fit these tall, skinny stamp sets, stamps and dies. So now I found it, and I've got a stack of these stamps here, mostly from the Greetery, because a lot of her sets are that size, and I've been buying a lot from her. And you can see when you stick these, they just take the extra room because the stamp set is not fitting, you know, all the way and edge to edge in the pocket. And some of hers do. I do use these for her larger sets, but you can't use the small standard size pockets because these are tall and skinny. So I was on the hunt. Let me move these out of the way. I was on the hunt for these pockets here, and you can see I've transferred some over. Here's different brands, right? The Greetery. I didn't have to cut anything off the side for the actual insert. So I'm still got the insert. The plastic baggie that these come in doesn't fit in here because it's exactly the same size as the pocket. So I did where I needed to keep them. This is the insert that she sends out with her stamp sets if it's a layering stamp. But I just basically took this out of that plastic sticky pouch that it comes in and place the backer thing inside. And do I label everything I have? No, because it says Birthday Blooms right here. I don't want to take the extra time sometimes. So, and it says Birthday Blooms right here, so I know what it is. So I do have the stamp and die set in here. The die is actually behind the packaging for the die set, so I could separate the two. And that's enough for me. And sometimes I'll put them on a magnetic sheet. The magnetic sheet isn't on this one because I've decided to keep all of these hooked together right now. I'll just die cut them all at the same time. So I don't need a magnetic sheet for this. But anyway, it fits perfectly without that plastic packaging it comes in. And I don't have to cut the flap at all. Now, some of you are probably asking, how do you store them? Well, I store mine in bins like this. If you guys have seen some of my videos, it's a long, narrow bin like this. And I have them on a bookcase. There's a separate video that shows them. If you're interested, comment below and I'll link it to you. But they fit in my bins. And now, and you can see, okay, let me see if I can show this to you. I'm all over the place. You can see there's double wide. These are the super large stamp sets, right, in the bin. And then right next to it, there's a smaller space for the narrow stamp sets. So these will fit perfectly now, which helps me maximize my stamp storage. And I don't have to use the double wide pockets that I was showing you, like this one, where I have to, sorry, I hit the camera, where I have to put them right next to each other, and then you get that folding of the pocket itself. Now I can store them side by side with the larger sets, and they don't, the pockets don't get messed up, so it kind of decreases that wear and tear on them. I know some of you don't care about that, but I've got quite a lot of sets, and you see now I've got space back here where I can store these tall, skinny stamp sets in the pockets that I've purchased, and they'll fit just fine. And they're almost the same size as the large, extra large sets. I do believe I have room in my shelving to handle it. But I wanted to share that because it was annoying me that I couldn't, I don't know, I couldn't find a vinyl pocket or a pocket that fit, you know, perfectly, other than the MFT ones that I knew of, that fit these great. I mean, I didn't have to do any cutting at all. Now this is a die. It's a slimline die. I just wanted to show you that there's more and more of these dies are coming out. And I don't know how you guys are storing them, but there's not a good way to store them. So I had been putting my slimline dies in a binder. I'm going to switch them over to this type of pocket as I collect more and more of them. But you can see that this fits it perfectly because it's narrow. It's tall and narrow. And the slimline cards are skinny, you know, and long. So that's another use for them. MFT, this is an MFT stamp inside of one of these pockets. Again, they have the same sort of sizing that the Greetery has, where their stamps fit in this pocket too. Here's an older version of MFT stamp same thing. It fits perfectly. So I just wanted to share that with you because I don't know about you, but the only one I found was the MFT ones, and every time I go to purchase them, they're out of stock. So I've not been able to find them. And these are thicker, so the life of these is going to work better. There is no flap over the top. It's just a little opening where one is shorter than the other, so you can, you know, kind of get in there easily. So there's that. Ooh, excuse me. Again, the shipping was not that cheap on those, but my package was pretty heavy. It's like ordering paper when you order by that amount. Okay, so the next thing I bought, this was a purchase from Memorial Day sales, and I just got them today. I ordered the full set of the Brush Marker Pro. These are the Karen markers, and they didn't have the entire set in one container because those were sold out at the time that I ordered, and it wasn't, you know, it was quick. So I ordered both the full set of regular colors and then added on the neon colors because Memorial Day sales on Marker Universe is where I purchased from. They had a 25% off your order, all your items. So there's 60 colors in the Pro set plus 3 blenders. Oh wait, is it 60 colors? Yeah, 60 colors plus 3 blenders, and then you get the 12 neon colors in a separate set. So this is the entire universe of colors that they have. So that's 72 total colors, and then you get 3 blender pens. And these have a brush tip. I'll show you. I had first seen these markers when I went to Copic Boot Camp, and I didn't purchase them then for whatever reason. I didn't know if I'd use them or not. I still don't know if I'll use them, but she gave us 2 free markers, one for me and one for my husband because he was sitting in the class with me. So we got 2, and I got 2 that were blending pairs. I think it's basically a 3 in a set where you have the light, medium, dark shades, and that's kind of how they did it. So let me show you. I'm gonna just put this up so you can read this on your own if you're interested in how they're made and what they're made from. Okay, some of them, I believe it says here the neon colors are pigment based, but the regular colors are dye based, and they're non-toxic. And the tip is a flexible nylon brush tip. Okay, so they're Japanese tips is what it says here. And so you can actually do blending with these like you do with a Copic pen, where you do the tip to tip, either light to dark shade or two different colors to blend, and it shows you how to do that here. But yeah, I think you can even use water with this, kind of like you would do with watercoloring. The colors are pretty intense in terms of what you get, and let me show you how I've stored them. So it came with in a big box, 2 separate boxes, and I don't like doing that. I don't like keeping things separately if I can help it. So this is what I came up with. I have this. It's a card. I don't even know what they call these. This is a metal tin from Stampin' Up, and it usually is designed as for a kit. And I bought a number of these some time back when I was a Stampin' Up demo. I'm no longer a demo, by the way. There are reasons for that, and it's not anything against Stampin' Up, so just know that. It's just for other reasons. So anyway, so I came up with this tin here to store the pens because I thought, well, hopefully there's enough room to keep them all separated, and it worked out because this is the full set that I purchased plus the two extras that I got at Copic Boot Camp. So I got two doubles, right? So I put them in here, and you can see them right next to each other, right here and right here. This skin 1 and skin 2, I think, is what they call them. They are labeled here. It's upside down, so you can see here, and I have yet to swatch them, so I will do that at some point. But what I decided to do was see if I could had something that already would fit them all without having to buy a new storage unit for it. So they look like this is the blender. It says for calligraphy, graphic design, illustration, and this is the blender pen, so it's clear. You can see that bubble moving around in there, I hope. And then here's the tip, and it's flexible, but it's not, well, this is the blender. It's not like the feeling of a Copic tip for the blender. Let me see. Pull this one out here. My big fat fingers. So here's the tip, and let me see if I've got a piece of paper. It kind of feels like a felted tip, but it has some what do you call it, flex to it, but it also has it's kind of sturdy, so it's kind of nice. I'm liking this. So you can kind of see what I did there. This is the Skin 1 marker. These are not refillable, but I think I saw them. I'm not sure if they sell individual markers. They might, but it would be smart of them to do that, so you could just replace one in the set and not have to purchase. Yeah, I think they do. They sell them individually, yes, and I think they might sell them in 3-packs too. So if you wanted to try them out, you can, instead of purchasing the whole thing. Well, I'm one of those people who has to have all the colors. Go figure. I know I'm not the only one. So what I did was I took the little cardboard, what do you call them, inserts for this thing, and they're tabbed, and I hooked the pen holder, the clip, to that cardboard. So if I wanted to pull out the entire range, I could do that, and that's what this is. I didn't do anything special. You'll be able to see the tab as I turn it. Look, there's that tab, and they're usually the other direction around. I did this so I could hook all the markers all the way across, and this keeps them separated, but also you're supposed to store these upright. I believe that's what it says. Do not expose to intense sunlight. You don't want to use them on a plane. Stored, capped with the tip facing up. So the tip is facing up, and it fits the entire set. Plus I have 2 doubles. And they're all separated by colors. So, and then here's the lid. So it just fits on like that. And these are really short markers compared to, say, a Tombow marker, because I have those too. And the Zig clean color brush markers. So I'm excited to have these. The other thing I'll say is, because I have the neon colors, you can distinguish the neon ones from the regular markers by the clip. The clip is black. So these 2 right here and this one right here, those are neon. And then these are regular colors. If you look at the clip, it's got a clear clip as opposed to a black clip. And then these 3 right here are the blenders, because you can tell it's got a clear lid as opposed to a colored lid that's shaded. So I don't know how true these are to the lid color, but obviously I'll swatch them all out on some paper. I have to figure out what the best paper to use is for this. I'm assuming it would be a smooth paper that would be the best. And if you're doing any like heavy blending, you'd probably want something thicker that wouldn't pill. So these are the markers I purchased. That's all I have for now, and talk to you soon. Bye.